Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Mark Bergerine. I'm a photographer and filmmaker, and today I'm back with a gear review. It's been a while since I was putting out a video on the channel, but I got this new backpack for hiking with camera gear, and I think it's pretty awesome. So we're gonna dive into a quick pros and cons list, and then I'm gonna go through some of the things that I really like about this bag and a few things that I think could be improved. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more reviews like this and get my opinion from a professional on some of the camera gear and equipment that I use. So let's dive into the pros and cons list. This bag is awesome because when I first started making photographs, I was looking for a bag just like this, and finally someone made it. So this is the Strohl 45 liter bag. It's like a collaboration between him and Moment. And yeah, so pros, this thing is ultralight. It's got camera access on the panel here, the back panel. It's a pretty flexible design. It can be customized. Some of the pockets are removable, and it can really adapt to some different situations. It's got a dedicated zipper here for camera access, as I mentioned. And then it's relatively affordable in terms of how camera bags go. So that's another thing it's got going for it. Cons, it's only available in one volume, so it's 45 liters. It's a little bit adaptable, like I said, if you remove the top pocket here, and it has a little bit of stretch capacity, but basically it's one size. There's different back lengths that you can get. I got the large, I'm about 5'8", and it seems to fit pretty well. There's only a minimal amount of camera gear storage, so I'll talk more about that, but that's maybe a con for some people that are looking to carry a lot of equipment. With that said, let's talk about the build and appearance. So I think this thing's pretty sleek. It's, you know, lightweight. I like all the kind of stretch pockets on, you know, this is kind of after a running vest style pocket on the front here. I like how customizable it is, and I think overall it has pretty good looks. It's also available in black. There was a yellow color at launch, but it doesn't seem to be available anymore, so maybe that wasn't too popular. But yeah, I kind of liked the blue, nice color in my opinion. So in terms of build quality, I think it's quite good. You know, it's lightweight and designed to be somewhat minimalist, but in terms of quality, I think this bag is going to be quite durable. The material seems good. You know, it's got ripstop. It's supposed to be waterproof, water resistant. Hard to say. Sometimes that can fade over time, but so far so good. And then the appearance can be somewhat customized, you know, if you want to kind of slim it down and make it look a little smaller, or if you want to cram it full of stuff if you're going on a longer trip. I think it looks good both ways. So that's a rough overview of the build and appearance. Let's talk through some of the exterior features. So starting here, it's got these two kind of flexible flask water bottle style pockets that you might see on like a running vest, and then some retainer elastic there. It's got, you know, your basic chest strap. These things fit phone pretty well. I used it for that. And then, you know, you might even fit some larger items in there, but I would say one of those soft flask water bottles fits well. And moving on down to the waist belt, which is not removable, but you can remove this waist belt pocket if you want it on one side or the other. It's just connected with an elastic here. But this is also good for, you know, storing your keys or little items that you just want to have accessible. You can quickly zip into that pocket. On the sides, it's got this these stretchy pockets, which you can, you know, stick a tripod in here, or you can put water bottle, even a small jacket, that type of thing. It's got one on each side. And then on the back panel here, it's also got another stretchy mesh pocket, which is awesome for stuffing a jacket or other items that, you know, end up, you take a layer off and you just want to quickly stuff something in there without having to dig into the pack. On the top here, it's got a classic removable brain, and inside the brain there's a zipper pocket, and it's pretty basic in there, nothing to it. I actually removed the brain most times that I used it, which can be done quickly by unhooking these things here and set that aside. And then this does have a little closure flap on the top, so you can keep that snug. Yeah, that kind of covers it for external features. There's some, you know, attachment points if you want to have additional things strapped to the outside, but I typically like to keep my packs really minimalist on the outside and not have a big yard sale hanging off the sides. Lastly, the padding on the shoulder straps, it feels pretty good. It's quite nice. It's not really heavy duty padding, but I think it's enough for the size of this pack. And same thing on the waist belt. It carries nicely, it feels good. If you fill it full of bricks, it's probably gonna be a little insufficient, but for camera gear and associated outdoor equipment that you'll likely be carrying, it's just the right amount, I would say. So diving into the internal features of the pack, it's pretty simple on the top here. Inside the pack, you just have a basic sleeve for where you might put a water bladder, and the rest of the pack is just one big compartment. What you do have inside on the bottom here in that compartment is access to this camera cube, which I think holds a camera and a couple lenses pretty well. It mounts in with some little Velcro straps, and it just sits nicely inside of that main compartment. Additionally, there's a little flap on or a pocket on the flap here that you can unzip. It's pretty slim but stretchy, so you could put some small items in there like batteries, memory cards, that sort of thing. But this cube is just the right size for, I would say, like a minimalist hiking photography kit. You can put, a full frame camera and a couple lenses, the R5 or Sony A7 series. Cameras fit nicely in there with like a 24-70 and maybe a extra lens or two. If you're traveling or something, you could take this camera cube does come out and you could store it somewhere else if you want the full volume of the pack accessible for other items. But I think it's a good balance between some camera bags will have a huge zipper on the back here and it'll fill up the entire compartment with camera gear, and then you're left with nothing for all those essentials that you'll need while you're out hiking, backpacking, that sort of thing. So I think this is a good balance for a somewhat minimalist photo kit. In terms of storage capacity for an outdoor backpack, this is pretty good. I'd say 45 liters is a good amount, whether you're going hiking for just a day trip or maybe an overnight. If you've got a slim gear kit, I think you could make that work. I took this pack backcountry skiing. It worked well. I held my avalanche gear and my layers and water and that sort of stuff, as well as some camera gear. And I liked how the storage capacity balances well. It's a little bit scalable to the activity that you have in mind. In terms of ease of use, I got the full kit. So it also comes with this little top loader bag here. This bag holds a camera and a lens pretty snug, and then it has a little internal pocket here. But this makes it so that you can keep your camera kit accessible on the exterior of your pack whilst keeping additional items inside. So whether you want to store your camera away where it's less accessible for a long hike, or you want to have it out, this little top loader unit can be put in a variety of places. It pairs with there's a little metal clip, so you can put a Peak Design plate on here, and then if you have something like the capture clip, this thing attaches here, and you can put that, like say, on a shoulder strap, or you can put it on I already have one on the waist belt here, and that works nicely to mount this top loader right onto your waist belt to have it accessible. You can also thread the waist belt through these internal straps here. It slides on just kind of like this pocket here, so it's right on the waist belt, which works nice in terms of having your gear accessible, but then if you want to put it away, you can quickly take this off, stash it in the backpack. In terms of how I tested this bag, I took it hiking, skiing, a variety of activities, and it worked well for everything that I tested it with. The one thing I will say about this bag is, it's ideal for that kind of minimalist kit, but as a professional photographer, I am often carrying more equipment than that. So I think this works well for really lightweight missions or missions where I'm carrying a small amount of gear. But if I want to have, 3 or 4 lenses, maybe some audio or video equipment and a camera, all that stuff, this is going to be less capacity than you'll need. You're going to be looking at an alternative. I like the bags by Shimoda. I think they make a great product. There's also f-stop gear and a whole wide variety, but I think Shimoda bags are my choice for when I need to carry more equipment, have more capacity for camera gear. When it comes to value, as I mentioned, this bag is super affordable in terms of camera bags. I think because it has a maybe slightly smaller camera capacity, it's a little on the cheaper side, but as far as outdoor bags go, this bag is awesome. It's a really high quality, and I think I'm gonna get quite a few years of use out of it for kind of those minimalist camera missions. So if you can't tell already, I'm pretty stoked on this bag. I'm definitely gonna be keeping it in my kit and taking it out on a variety of trips. I think it's gonna be an awesome bag for when I wanna take, just a camera and a lens, and I wanna have plenty of capacity for other items while I'm out, whether it's climbing, skiing, that type of stuff. Super excited about this bag. So if you want to check it out, hit the link in the description. You can go get one. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear your feedback if you're enjoying this bag, or if you're going to get one, or if there's another bag that you think is better. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.